Listen to one audiobook each month with Amazon Music Unlimited, which now includes access to the largest collection of audiobooks from Audible. Great stories deserve to be heard. So download the Amazon Music app and start listening today.
Does anyone really know what hormones do? There's so much talk about women's hormonal health, but most women are left even more confused about what it means for them and what to do about it. This confusion ends now. Hormone Harmony is a game changer for women struggling with hormonal imbalances that leave them exhausted both physically and mentally. It contains science-based ingredients that bring back comfort, energy, clarity, confidence, and a sense of balance. Happy Mammoth, the company behind this phenomenal formula, has helped over 2.4 million women get their lives back and feel like themselves again after years or even decades of hormonal imbalances. The company surveyed 1,831 women to see how Hormone Harmony helped them, and the results are mind-blowing. 86% of women started losing weight, 77% say it improved their mood, and 100% said they're feeling like themselves again. Hormone Harmony has already sold over 6 million bottles with more than 50,000 rave reviews from women worldwide, and 98% of them say they'd recommend it to their friends and family. For a limited time, you can get 15% off on your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code HAPPY15 at checkout.
Hi, I am Stephanie J. Block.
And I'm Mary Lee Fairbanks.
Welcome to Season 5 of Stages Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and beyond the resume.
Join us as we talk to some of the greatest talents from theater, TV, film, and more. And then check out stagespodcast.net for past episodes, merch, and so much more.
And love where you are now.
Hello, my friends. I want to tell you about this amazing initiative brought to you by The Outsiders Musical. It is called the Stay Gold Project. The Outsiders Musical, winner of the 2024 Tony Award for Best Musical, is committed to honoring young voices through the Stay Gold Project. It's an educational initiative inspired by this story that was written by a teenager about teenagers. With the lead grant from the legendary notebook maker Moleskine, this project includes free education resources, a youth ambassador council, and underwritten ticket access at no cost to young people. The Stay Gold Project is presented in partnership with the New York City Public Schools. If you'd like to learn more about the Stay Gold Project or to donate, go to outsidersmusical.com/stay-gold. That's outsidersmusical.com/stay-gold.
My friend, stay gold. My friend, stay gold.
I told my cousin I was interviewing you this morning, and she was like, "Don't tell anyone, but he's my favorite one of the entire cast." So
Well, don't tell anyone. Now
you.
you've
Well,
everyone
now
knows.
you just let them all out.
Too bad.
Now there
I'm
will be
flattered.
conflict backstage, and you've created chaos in his
Flattered
life.
and conflicted.
All right, people, hold on to your hearts. Today, we have the pleasure of talking to a newcomer to Broadway who has certainly made an entrance. He went from being relatively unknown, struggling actor, getting ready to quit the business and taking a full-time job in sales, to a Broadway heartthrob and Grammy nominee for his work as the dutiful older brother Derry in the Tony Award-winning musical The Outsiders. Not only is he a true and wonderful talent, but he's one of the nicest guys in that entire cast of Outsiders. He always takes a moment to give me a big hug, and we have a quick chat in between shows. And I'm really happy to have him here today so that we can all dig a little deeper. Please welcome Brent Comer. Brent Comer to stage, please. Brent, please come to stage. For
So
you.
nice of you. So nice of you. I'm moved by the intro. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so sweet. You really are. I have a question. How do you stay stable when you go from a relatively unknown actor to pretty much what it's like to feel like when you're a part of the Beatles? Because I remember standing on 47th Street when the show first opened, and you guys would open your dressing room windows and poke your heads out, and every female on the street would start screaming and waving. And I said, this is insane. Like what must have that felt like to suddenly be thrust into this world where it must have been dreamlike and overwhelming? And what did you do to stay grounded? And how did you not let an ego just fly out of control, you know?
I really like believe that like my brain is only capable of like accepting and processing so much. Do you know what I mean? So like, and the thing is I spend so much time in that building, and
Yeah.
I spend so much time working there that sort of all the outside stuff I don't really even see or experience a lot of the time. That's like,
Mm.
I'm usually just in there hammering away at, making sure everything's working and I'm like dropped in and connected, and all that other stuff, I experience for like 15 minutes when I step outside of the stage door, and that's really cool. But like, I guess I don't really even understand. I guess because I'm so on the inside of it that I can't look at it very often from the
Mm.
outside.
Yeah.
Um, and so
That's a
really,
healthy way, I think.
yeah, and it's hard. Like, I mean, it's awesome. It's great. It's so cool. We have so many really, dude. I have a table full of like gifts from fans and stuff that I just like, I have no place to put them all. They're all just so nice, and it's great, and it's very fulfilling. It's a little dissonant and disorienting because like the story that we tell isn't like easy all the time.
Yeah.
And then when you step outside, and the celebration of it is very different than the celebration of the show is different than what the show sort of celebrates, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
So it's like,
How do you come to terms with that then? If it sounds to me when you're speaking that you want your audiences to take what is important from the story, and I won't even like assign that something because everybody's going to take something
yeah,
different that, resonates inside of them. But then the curtain comes down, if they're screaming like the Beatles, is it hard for you then to put into place or compartmentalize? Okay, we just told this very sobering story that I'm hoping will hit a lot of like weighty, matters. And yet we go out there and they're like, oh, we love it. Take off your shirt. Does
yeah,
that,
yeah,
is that a conflict though for you as
yes,
an
no,
artist?
it's really like, I mean, like, look, if they're celebrating the show, they're celebrating the show, and I will
Totally.
plan, and however they want to do that, that's great. But
Yeah.
when I was in college, I was really interested in like acting styles and like how people like connected to their process and their work and stuff. And that's when you start to hear stories about people who do shows, hard, like emotionally taxing shows for long periods of time, and how like you hear all the whole, well, you need to wipe your feet at the door, you need to have like an offboarding process. And for me, like being, I guess, sort of like an arrogant college kid who just was like, we're just playing pretend, get over yourself and just do your job. And then like I did it for like 200 performances, and I was like, oh wow, this is really starting to take a toll on me. So now like when the show's over, I need to take like 5 minutes and just like, while I'm getting dressed and leaving the theater, I need to just be like, okay, that was that. This is going to be completely different. I guess I sort of learned, it's actually something I really struggled with. I would just cry at the end of the show a lot every day and just be like what emotionally just happened. You know what I mean? And it's a very strange like experience. It's just sort of like you go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum really fast.
Hmm.
And even though like you can rationally understand that, I don't feel like your subconscious really understands what just happened.
Yeah, your body, your physical and your energetic state doesn't know the difference between
Yeah.
actually going through that in real life or actually going through that on stage. You still have the physical reactions and the mental reactions and the emotional drain
Yeah,
that
dude.
comes with, and you have a really hard role, right? And your role is,
Well, it's one that I
there's a
can.
lot on you.
There's
Well,
one
it's
where,
been quoted as saying you're the moral center of the
Yeah.
show, that you're the emotional heartbeat of the show. So those are some, heavy labels to carry.
well, I certainly try very, whether it's difficult or not, I definitely try very hard in it. I try to do the best I can every day, and when I'm doing it, because I'm too much of a obsessive person to not. I didn't really even realize that that was taking a mental toll on me until very far into the process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was just sort of like this thing where I was like talking to my therapist. I'm like, what is going on? And then we like broke down like my day to day, and they were like, that's a very strange thing to experience. I'm like, oh my God, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, I love it. Like, I love that everyone's enthusiastic about it. I love that people find a way to connect to it, even if it is a way that like I don't relate to. Like,
Yeah.
like it's cool. It's great to be a part of a hit show, and awesome. And it's an amazing experience to make your Broadway debut in something, and it's a privilege to do it in something that is resonating with people.
Yeah.
But there's also a personal part of yourself that you need to sort of protect and manage.
Absolutely.
And also, like, I recognize that not every experience is going to be like this. It's not like the next experience is going to be different. This is a very unusual situation, and it's something that I recognize. I did Les Mis and then I didn't work for 2 years. Suddenly this happened, and it's just like, what is going on?
I want to say though, I love how you just so casually just say, I was talking to my therapist. When I was your age, people didn't just casually say they were talking to their therapist. And I love that that's the world we're in now, that where people are doing self-exploration. There's nothing to hide in struggles and challenges in life. And you talk so openly, the younger generation, about their emotional experience. I just love that. I
I
love
think
that you guys do that.
I think it's so helpful for actors as well. Like, because if you don't know how you work, like, how are you going to know how a fictional character or a character that's based off of a real person works? I mean, when I first started with Daryl, the first thing I did was like, I was like recognizing, okay, what is similar with he and I, and what is different?
I'd
And
love to hear that, because when I was reading
yeah,
about you, you were playing a Soch. So
yeah.
the creative team saw you as one thing when your like inner compass and your body's telling you, gosh, no, I really respond to and see myself in Daryl. So what were those characteristics that when you were reading that script that went ding, 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 this is who I am. This is where I fit.
I mean, I fit more. The thing is it's weird because I don't really relate to either of the characters that I played, like, personally at all. The way I related to the Soch is I just sort of had to, you know, I had to, a lot of that story I had to create for myself, and to create the thing that was easier about that was there was circumstances that I could create, and anything was free game. It could be as true as I wanted it to be. So that was not an easier job, but it was more of an independent job. Whereas Daryl requires a lot of input from a lot of people. And it was informed by the ideas of a lot of people: Susie, the novel writer, and Adam, the script writer, and Danya and the music writers. And sorry, my nose is so itchy. If I and
What does that mean? Someone's talking
It
about
means you're gonna
you,
have a fight.
Mitch?
No, it means
Oh, it does?
yeah, you're scrapping for a fight.
it's a
You
signal.
got a problem, Brent?
Yeah. But the first thing I did with Daryl was like, and the first thing I did with Daryl is I realized, I was like, wow, we are two very different people. But I was just like, okay, but where are the places where we're similar, and the places that we connect? And we're both very we both have a lot of fear. You know what I mean? Like, we both possess a lot. We navigate a lot of our own fears, and he just does it in a different way.
He tries to control things that he can't
He
control.
tries to control, and I try to control.
Mm-hmm.
But I just do it. I just do it in a different way. And really, like, the thing about playing him is like, the way he goes about trying to control things is through stillness, and I guess it's sort of like, I've sort of decided it's sort of like a defense mechanism, through like a series of defense mechanisms. And my defense mechanisms are different. Like, mine are like, I'm really flighty and anxious, and I try to compensate, and I talk a lot, and I like, that's just the way that I am. And he's just someone who like just
Goes
still,
inward.
It
yeah,
retreats.
he goes inward, retreats, and doesn't show anything. And I think that, like, he thinks that, like, if he doesn't show anything, then he can control things because no one knows anything. And
So
I think that's also like a masculine quality. Like, I think that's also like something that men often do, which is like, I grew up in like a very masculine household, and I think that it's more like, the less you show, the stronger you are.
Yeah.
And I'm very much
the
not
strong,
like,
silent type. Yeah.
yes, he's the quintessential like
Yeah.
Paul Newman strong silent type. But really, there's what's interesting, what I love about the character so much is that's not real. You know what I mean? Is like, that's an illusion, and that's fake. I think what's interesting about Daryl is I wanted and what Adam did is we wanted to build in the cracks in that.
And what did you build? What did you build in those cracks? What did you
I've, I've,
find?
I found someone who can't do that anymore, or someone who by the end of the play is he can't just white knuckle it, and he can't just compartmentalize. He can't not show his love for his brothers. Do you know what I mean? He can't not cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and I think essentially at the end of it is in the last scene, I try so hard not to cry, and that's just like growing up in like a masculine household. It's like, "Hey, stop crying. It's embarrassing to cry." And like he is someone who's cracked by the end. He's the guy who does not cry. Paul Newman, all those guys, they don't cry. There are moments in the play where he cries because he's weak, and I think that that's something that's interesting to me, and that's something that like I definitely felt a pressure. That was a quality I definitely was nervous to release about myself when I was growing up.
And we will be right back.
Imagine you're a business owner relying on a dozen different software programs. Each one is expensive, overly complicated, and worst of all, none of them are connected. It can be incredibly stressful, right? Now, picture Odoo. CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and more. Odoo brings all the tools your business needs into one simple platform, and all seamlessly connected. Everything works together, giving you the peace of mind that your business is running smoothly from every angle. Odoo's open source applications are user-friendly and designed to scale with your business, saving you time and money. Say goodbye to juggling multiple platforms and hello to efficient integrated management. Stop wasting resources on complicated systems and make the switch to Odoo today. Visit odoo.com, ODOO.com, and discover how Odoo can simplify and streamline your business operations. Odoo, modern management made simple.
You're the youngest of three boys, yeah?
I'm the youngest of three, yeah.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of similarities in the energy with your castmates that you did with your blood brothers growing up?
Kind of, not really. I like, it's strange. Like I was the youngest of three, and like Daryl isn't based off of like my older brother or anything. It's weird. I grew up around like all men, but like all my friends are women. I don't know. This is such a weird part about myself. Like I want to get down into the shit of like talking about stuff, and like guys often, this is a generalization, but like guys often just want to like touch the surface, and I'm just kind of, nah, not really. Like
scotch and a
yeah. I'm just like, okay.
I heard Jane Fonda say, men want to sit next to each other and look out at something. And that's how they have a conversation. So they want to watch a football game and sort of talk. Where women turn and face each other, and they want to look each other in the eyes and hold each other's hands and like, let's get down and dirty and talk about it. There's such a different dynamic.
Yeah, like and like that's just typically how I am, and I did not, and I mean to speak in generalizations, but like I just feel like I think I'm an anxious dude, and I naturally crave intimacy, and I think that it's something that like that separates Daryl and myself, but it's sort of the exploration of that difference, I think is really what I'm investigating, I guess.
Yeah. Anxiety is just the opportunity to build self-trust. That's how, when I get anxious about something, that's what I'll say to myself when I feel anxious.
Say it again, Mary Lee.
Anxiety is just an opportunity to build more self-trust.
Really? I like that.
Yeah. So I had to go into a terrible meeting with family members or something. And I was very anxious going in. And I just kept saying that to myself. This is an opportunity to tap into me and find out where I can trust myself.
Really?
And I just kept saying it. And it worked in that moment. I really held my ground and did a great job, like really knowing myself. But so that's how I try to view anxiety now, because I don't think there are, bad or negative emotions. I think they're opportunities, and they're like your body's giving you a warning signal that you have an opportunity coming up.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, that is
because I can see that. I recognize that sensation.
I think for me, if I were to take that sort of mission, it might be too noisy in my spirit. So I have to look at all emotions, not judging them, but
How so?
like as visitors. So they
Yeah.
come in, I sit with them. Sometimes I don't even need to acknowledge them. I certainly feel like if I were to place importance on all of them and use them as and I hope you don't take this as a test, ML, but like if I were to
No.
look at them and place value on them and use it as an opportunity to either grow or learn, I would be weighted down like all day long. So I think I need to
Yeah.
say, oh, I see you. I see you, emotion. You're just going to sit there and
Yeah.
not be a part of the narrative this time.
Mhm.
And then, oh, I see you. Yeah, I better pay attention to this one. We're going to walk in
But
together.
that's also a compartmentalization and a sorting
Yes,
process.
Yes, the
yes,
sorting
yes.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, and
whole
I
life is a
certainly
bit of
can't do it
sorting.
with everything. I do it when I feel overwhelmed by something. When I
Yeah.
find myself ruminating, because I get into that ruminating headspace. So when I find that, I say, okay, what opportunity is this presenting me?
Yeah.
Do you know the Rumi poem, The Guest House?
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
That's
okay, I'm going to read
exactly
you
what
the
I'm
best
referring
poem.
to.
This is the best for this conversation. It's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning is a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness that comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of furniture. Still, treat each guest with honor. They may be clearing you out for some new delight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
Rumi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that. What's it
Rumi.
called again?
It's Rumi, the poet. It's
Rumi.
called The Guest House.
Rumi.
Oh, Rumi. Oh, sorry.
Rumi.
I thought, my bad. I thought it
Like
was the
Roomy
roommate.
roommate.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was like, okay. Sorry. I understand now.
Let's talk
Oh
a
my
little about you
gosh.
growing up in this house full of boys and playing sports and everything. What was your mom there? Was she a part of all of this? So it
Yeah,
was just
she was
your
a part.
poor mom surrounded by all those boys.
I know. I know. So three boys, and then like on my dad's side of the family, it's eight boys. Like we just all boys. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I have a niece now, and she's like the first female with the last name Comer, and like born in like 60 years.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, is she gonna get spoiled.
Yeah, I know. She's going to be, and she is.
So
And
was there a lot of pressure to be, that sort of sports guy? And when you came out and said, I'm going to become an actor, was there pushback? Was
yeah, I
there
want
a
to
problem
dance.
with that?
It was not really. There wasn't really pushback. It was just like it was encouraged for me to play sports. It was a way for me to relate to the people around me, and it was a way for my father to relate to me, and
Yeah.
because what he knew and it's what he could pass on, and I did it for a long time, and I loved it. I still love sports. But
What'd you play?
I played football and I ran track. I love football. Um,
Oh,
and I played some other sports, but I never really liked them. I hated basketball.
it's funny because they're really different because track is so singular. Like
Yeah,
your acceleration and how far you go just depends on you and how much you're willing to put into you. Whereas football is kind of,
Team
a
effort.
team
Yeah.
I know. Also, I like the independence of track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
loves
loved
track.
it. It was also usually really simple. You could obsess over small things, like
Yes.
like you could obsess over
Foot placement, where
yeah,
you
foot
spring
placement.
from.
Where's
Yeah.
how's my hip movement on this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could just like sit there for like and just obsess over independent things, and you didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about other people.
Whereas football,
Um,
you're looking out all around you, right? At all the teammates and what's going
it's
on and
big,
we're
it's a
trying to,
big mess all the time, and it's just like
wow.
anyway. But it was fun. I loved it. But yeah, I didn't feel a pressure to really keep to like. I think my family was like, if you know what you want to do, and it brings you joy, and you want to be the best version of it that you can be, and you're going to try really hard to do it and apply yourself, and it's not something that's like bad. They
Yeah.
were like, hey, like something
That's
that
awesome.
yeah, I was very lucky. It was difficult to accept at first because they just were like, wait, what? And like, but they weren't like don't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Did you never show signs of like either being the clown or being musical or
Yeah,
being
yeah,
dramatic?
I was always dramatic and theatrical, and I never really fit in with like sports folks or anything. And like I always like got along with people who were not, sports folks. Because I was always, dramatically and artistically inclined. I just didn't really understand what it meant. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I was just like, I like, my brothers are significantly older than me, so I spent a lot of my time when I was a kid
Oh,
watching movies, and because I wasn't an only child, but I spent a lot of my time alone because they were off
yeah.
doing whatever things that I couldn't do. So I spent a lot of my time, reading comic books or watching movies or playing video games, absorbing stories and stuff, and
Hmm. What are
and
your favorite movies?
oh my God, we could sit here for a long time. I think I'm going through a phase right now where I think that Oh Brother Art Thou is my favorite movie. Um,
Oh,
I like
okay.
it. I think it's and like I could. There's like five different answers to this question. Like what
But
my
you like a little absurdity right now that's making a social commentary during
Yeah,
the course of the
I
film.
like I also just liked the heightened language. I think that the concept and the world that was created in it is just so fully realized in every way,
Hmm.
like down to like
Hmm.
the score, the cinematography, the dialogue especially.
Hmm.
It's perfect for any situation. It's just a masterclass in world building. From the first 5 minutes of or when the from the introduction, you know where you are.
Yeah.
And it's consistent through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And
Place and tone, characters, they're all, you know exactly
ev-
what it's going to be. Not what it's
everyone
going to be, but you're comfortable in the world they've
yeah,
created. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you like sometimes those rules can be broken, like there's a little bit of there's a supernatural element to it. You don't know where the lines are in it, but you
Mm.
know the rules of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I love is like everybody involved in that movie seemed to understand the assignment and the vision, and I was
Or
like,
do you think that the creators knew these personalities outside of making film and they were like, yes, George Clooney, yes, Totoro? Do you know what I mean? Like they already
it,
maybe already knew them and went,
Would
these parts
gel.
are handmade for
for
them.
them,
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And either way, it's so cool. Like the first dialogue that's spoken in the movie, I remember it's George Clooney talking to those guys on the train he's trying to escape on. He's like, any of you boys smithies or otherwise inclined in the industrial arts? And it just like they just establish language and tone immediately off the brink. And I'm just
But
like,
you don't expect that language to come out of these, I'm using air quotes, these hobos that are on the train traveling together, right?
yeah,
This elevated language and this
it's
really
yeah.
articulate things coming out of these people.
Yeah, and the thing that I love about it is some people do say things that are kind of hodunk, backwoodsy things, but they're so
Mhm.
calculated and made for every moment. I don't know. I just,
Clooney's on Broadway right now. You've
I
got to
know,
find a chance to get together with him and just be like, man, your film,
I
your
know.
film.
That's what I literally like. I'll meet famous people and I'll just be like, oh,
But it must be crazy now meeting all of these people that you sat in that room and watched, you know? Now
yeah.
they're just a part of your world and they come backstage and they're all over the place.
It's interesting because when you talk to those people about those certain experiences, they view it so differently than you view it. Just like this show that I'm doing is just a moment in my life. Those things that other people experience, I don't receive them the same way. So like I'll talk to people about their work or their movies and they'll be like, "Oh wow, that's so interesting." Yeah, and they'll tell me something that was happening in their life at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And like whereas like I equate that to my experience with their work. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just interesting like meeting people and talking to them about their work and how they are like individuals as well who
Mm.
have lives outside of, you know, their work. It really
That you
like
can't envision when you're younger and you're just watching.
but
Do
yes,
you have aspirations to get into film, or is theater where you want to sit for a little while?
I don't know. I haven't really had the chance or the experience of it yet. I know that I love theater. I love being on stage. I'm interested in film. I love the idea of film. I just love theater so much. And that's how I was trained. Now when you audition all the time, it's just making self-tapes. And it's
Yeah.
just sitting and you get like 3 days with these scripts and you're making a character really fast and it's like cool, but like the thing that really like that I trained to do in college was to stand in front of people and be in a space with people. And that's what I did. I studied a lot of Shakespeare and heightened language, which is, I'm definitely interested in doing TV and film. I just like my heart is pulling me towards more theater projects.
And it's better to do theater when you're young anyway, because it takes so much energy, you know?
Yeah,
So do
exactly.
as much theater as you can while you're young. I look at you guys and what you do up there, and I just think, oh my God, you got to be 20 something to get through that show 8 times a week. How long have you been with the show? When did you start in with all of the readings and all of that?
I think I got the job in this room, a phone call, like in August of 22. Then I didn't start until January of 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started the process, and I was a soc in the out of town, and Ryan Vasquez was Daryl, and I was Daryl's understudy. I never really got a chance to do it, but I got to work the music a little bit, and it's been a long haul with this thing. It's been a while. Like, I mean, 2 years is like, I know some people do things. I know some people have been doing like certain shows for like 5 years, which is,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to debunk that a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to invalidate your
oh yeah, I
long
know,
haul,
or
but
negate.
yeah, your rise has been pretty meteoric, meaning not meteoric like cosmic. You know what
Like
I
a
mean? It's
meteor.
going
Sure.
exactly. So all of our listeners going, excuse me.
Yeah, I know.
That
I
was
know some
meant as a
people.
compliment. And, you know, reading as an old broad, reading and hearing you say, you know, perhaps then this wasn't meant for me. And it wasn't until the outsider script that made me go, okay, I'm not going to give up on the business. What inside of you at the young age of 26, 25 was willing to release, you know, your passion for the theater? What sort of pragmatic voice came through to say, you know what, Brent, this isn't meant for you. I want you to fight. I want you to suck the marrow out of this art form because it seems like you are born for it, that it is already in your like DNA makeup. So what
That's
was
so
that
kind of
voice
you,
that was
especially
like,
coming from you. I'm such a big
well,
fan of
I'm
yours.
a fighter and I'm an old workhorse, right? So
Sure.
nothing came easy in my journey. And I'm grateful. I personally am embracing that because that for me, I think was my superpower. So what
I
was that
admire
voice
that a
in
lot.
your young, beautiful brain that was like, maybe, you know, selling alcoholic beverages is my path? And again, this is sounding wrong. I'm not meaning it in that way. Is that not
No,
the
I
truth of what it
no.
was? Yeah.
Even if it was, I'd be like, if I, like, no, no, I don't receive it that way. No, it was very much, I had always felt like an imposter to theater. Like, I always knew I had a passion for telling stories, but I always knew that it was something that I could not possess. Theater is and the arts and this business is a very cruel mistress. It's very much,
Mm-hmm.
you can give everything that you have to it and it'll give nothing back to you,
Right.
and it doesn't owe you anything. And the thing
Right.
was, is like, I guess I sort of looked at it like it was something I could love and appreciate but not possess. I loved doing it. I did Les Mis and I got very lucky. I got out of college and I got a very quick job, and then COVID happened, and then the industry just started, and I that was my only understanding of it. I did one 9-month job, and then COVID happened, and then the industry shifted. It was like, okay, well, now we're doing Zoom musicals. And I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine a worse hell of things that do not inspire me at all. My passion is connecting to people and sharing experiences with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting these auditions for and this, I don't mean this to sound bad, but I was getting these auditions for things that I was like, that weren't exciting to me. That like I think I just sort of got to the point where I was like, I love this form and I love the storytelling of, I think musical theater can be the best form of storytelling
Mm-hmm.
if it's done, well. And I got to this point where I was like, I tried to be as stoic as I could be about it and be like, I made it to a lot of final rounds for things, and frankly, like, my artistic skill set isn't really like what is super marketable. Like, I'm a baritone sad boy. I sort of got to this point where like I'm auditioning for these projects that don't really excite me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm losing money working here, and it started to make me sort of like, it turned storytelling, something that I love so much, into like slog. And I was just like, maybe I should just like release this and find my meaning as a human being, other than the validation of a job that I don't want. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would pay the bills and I'd be lucky to do it. Would I really be able to give myself to this? And I was just like, what am I doing? What do I want? And I wanted
That's a
to,
big question for sure.
and I was just sort of really exploring really who I was independently of me trying to be successful as an actor,
To be chosen.
to be chosen. And
Hmm.
that for me is something that like I struggle with. I think all actors struggle with, but I'm like really conscious of it. It's like, where do I find my autonomy outside of the validation of the business?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Then, when I had finally like let go, I was like, I can love this. It just doesn't have to be my job.
Yeah,
And,
I get that.
and as soon as I let that go, then I got the script for The Outsiders, and I was like, oh no, I could definitely give myself.
Get behind this one.
Yeah, and it's amazing how like the timing of that works. It was literally, I was like, it was my last audition, and I was just like, okay, cool. And I really wanted it though because I believed in the story.
I understand what you're saying. There is a lot of doing the jobs that you have to do for the very rare experiences of being in a show that fills you up in a way that is unique and powerful. And you don't get many of those. You don't. You don't know that yet because you just landed your first show in this major hit in a great show with a incredible creative team, and it's wonderful. And many shows that you do will not match up to this. Some will, but many won't. And that does become the question. Are you going to do AT&T commercials to fill the gap in between the next great show? What do you do? How much do you love it in order to do the things that you don't want to do so that you continue doing the thing that you love when the amazing job comes around? And because we're taught to be such workhorses and not to ask the questions, just go get the job, go do the next thing.
Which I get, and it's
Yeah, I get it too.
valid,
It's,
valid way.
everybody, lots of people have jobs that they just have to do the job because you have to have a job. But when you love something so much, you almost feel like you are not honoring that love because you're going out and just doing the thing you have to do. So I completely understand what it is that you're trying to express in that, in telling us
Yeah,
that.
I think there are also moments in one's life where if you have fallen madly in love, and I'm not saying it's healthy. Trust me, I'm not saying it's healthy. Because I fell in love when I was 11 and I quit the business at least 10 times every year because she is fickle and she's not loyal and she's abusive. And yet I am able to still romanticize it in a way, or maybe I'm a full on theater
Junkie.
storyteller junkie. There's that
Yeah.
too. But I'm willing to say yes to a job that perhaps isn't filling up my artistic tank because one, it's going to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Two, I never know who I'm going to be in the room with. Even if I go, oh man, am I polishing a turd with this one? There's still this artist and this artist who I really connect with or can respect. Now, all of this is being voiced in privilege because one, even if you're being offered a job and you're able to use your skill set in this industry, you're like, okay, I'm down to the top 2% that we're even making a money in this business, whether that's the dinner theater or the amusement park or the off Broadway, whatever that looks like.
Right.
But for me, I was wildly aware that, okay, this project, I'm going to have to meditate and center myself before I walk in the room. I'm going to have to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit because if you don't, if you're judging the product, if you're judging the process, then you're not going to present anything that's worthwhile anyway, right? But all the while going, this ain't it. This ain't the one. But it's allowing me to pay. I guess we're all junkies because it's always that next audition might be, that next rehearsal might be, that next performance might be.
Yeah.
Right? And then there are these moments like The Outsiders or falsettos or, fill in the blank where you go, oh, this is complete. From soup to nuts, this has been a complete experience that feels elevated and important and special. And I don't know, like you just said, I don't know if I'll ever have another
you might only get
experience
one of
like
those
this again.
In all likelihood, this could be, and you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Like, and I think me going through that experience of dropping it for the time that I did was me exploring that of being like, okay, what is life like without it? I didn't want to be afraid to explore another part of my life. because I was too afraid of dropping something.
That's a
And I
beautiful
learned,
way of looking at it,
yeah,
actually.
like
Yeah.
I love performing. It's my favorite thing. But I want the relationship that I have with it to be reciprocal, even if I'm not being employed by it. Because as you know, like, being a performer is like, it's thankless a lot of the time.
Hmm.
And I'm in a
Hence
really,
therapy.
yes, exactly. And like, exactly. And like, I'm in a lucky position where like I'm not a prisoner of it right now. And but that will come and that will go, like all things. And you know, I need, and what I'm focusing on right now is developing a relationship while in a good place for it to not be in a good place. And that's not me anticipating the
To
worst.
sustain yourself during
It's
Yeah,
the
right.
challenging
That's right.
times.
That's
Yeah.
right.
like, I know that this is a good time right now. I'm really trying to remain as present as I can be, and I think part of that is recognizing that it's not always going to be like this. I remember I love Stephen Pasquale, and
Love him.
he taught me how to sing in college, just listening to him, and he's just unbelievable. I'm just a huge Stephen Pasquale head. I want to meet him so badly. I was listening to a podcast that he did, and he got a tour, like one of his first auditions, and then he got another tour, and he just toured for like 4 years right out of wherever he came from. I think he just came right from his hometown. And then like he said that he developed the attitude or the outlook that like, oh, it's cool, you just audition for stuff and they give it to you. And then and then like and then like he said that he didn't work again after that for like 2 years, and he spent all of his tour money. That for me is like is a mindset that I'm very conscious of. When you're in a good situation, you can be like, oh, you know, you can just
This
go.
is how it is.
It's not.
There is a big difference between jobs, which again, I'm not going to invalidate, and a career. And I think if one truly falls in love with the art form, right, the goal is to, of course, be present and in the moment and living in gratitude, but
Yes.
also to find that endurance and longevity, knowing, like
Yeah.
you just said, she's hard. She's
She's
a
hard,
hard
baby.
mistress. She's hard, baby. So
Yeah.
you got to wake up still choosing it, not
Yeah.
losing yourself, therapy, and continue on for what is going to build up to be a career. And a lot of the times when I speak with young people that are in college or just out, yes, this is a beautiful job. Yes, this is a debut. Now start building a holistic approach to this
Yes.
environment and to this industry, because, do you still want to be doing this when you're 50?
Yeah.
Me, 52 or 60 or 70, and you got to figure that out.
Yeah.
What else are you interested in? Talk
Do
to
you
us.
write?
Oh,
Do you write
yeah.
music? Do you write plays? Or do you?
I'm interested I'm interested in like sports and like doing like sports podcasting. I'm interested in like I am interested in craft alcohol. I'm interested in making I'm
Yeah.
interested in like learning how to make stuff.
Great.
I'm interested in like casting and like the casting process, and I'm interested in directing and learning how to direct and stuff. And I'm interested in the restaurant business, weirdly. Like I've been doing that for so long. I've like always wanted to like open a bar, and like
Was that your family business? Did your family
no,
have a
no,
restaurant?
I just started working in restaurants from a very young
Oh.
age.
So this is a real thing. You weren't just like working in microbrews and selling alcohol. Like, it is truly, you love the art form of that
Oh, it's
particular.
I would give tastings to people at bars, and I would like tell them like how it's made, and I would like watch how it's made.
I
When
know
I
what
was
it is. I know what it is. It's a musical theater microbrewery in the
I
heart
know,
of New York City.
yeah.
God. Oh, dear
my
God.
God.
Oh,
We'll
wait,
play show tunes and drink beer.
yeah, I know. We'll do it outside. It'll be like the Globe, and everyone can interject. And
Oh, those poor actors after 3 drafts. People are just like, you are amazing. Or
you
the other.
tell them, sister. Tell them how you feel.
Tell Daddy again. Sing that one again. Oh my God, Mary Lee, stop
Regret it for
talking.
the rest
I
of your
don't
life
want
if
that.
you don't. You'll be like, hey, sorry, hon.
I mean, we're just handing out box wines on the way in. Dear baby Jesus.
But yeah, no, I'm horrified of complacency, but at the same time, I want to keep it healthy because there's a way it can be unhealthy. There's a way with these things, and like the way you can just look at stuff and like it's the next thing every day, and you could instantly like even in a place where you're doing well, like you could find a way to be
To
upset.
get yourself out of the appreciation and gratitude of where you're doing
so
well.
easy, isn't it?
Because you're so busy
easy.
looking to what's next.
Yeah, so like how do you stay
comparing.
driven and
Comparison.
inspired?
Right.
Yeah, like how do you stay driven and inspired and like keep your connection with what you do, holistic, like you said,
Yeah.
and also not build like and not become like obsessed about it.
Though, this part of you that is curiosity, you are a very curious person. That is going to be your superpower forever. Curiosity is one of the most important things you can possibly have to succeed in life in anything.
Thank you.
And sadly, curiosity is not encouraged in children when they're growing up, right? School teaches you not to be curious. It teaches you to memorize and repeat. So fostering curiosity is a real strength. It's a really important strength in life.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like public schooling, I didn't do well in it at all. I was not good at
You're too curious.
repeating. I guess so. I mean, like I was in like directed classes when I was in school because I just could not pay attention and just information.
Yeah.
But yeah, you must understand as well, like having the amazing career that you have, that like there has to be a balance in like you have to find the joy and it needs to come from a real place. It can't just come from validation.
Oh, no, for sure. And we just spoke, I think it was our last podcast, the difference between seeking pleasure, seeking validation, seeking happiness, or seeking fulfillment. And truly fulfillment is the only way that it's going to work.
And I want performing to be an outlet for the other things in my life that I'm experiencing rather than the other way around. I don't want my career and my idea of myself and my image to dictate the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean? And I think that the best work happens, at least from what I see and from what I can tell from my very limited experience, is like people who live their lives like have an entire life. You have so many other responsibilities other than just your career. But I imagine all those other things have to inform your work.
They absolutely do. But they also, it's interesting, sometimes the easiest, air quotes, part of my day is the 3 hours I'm on stage because I know what's happening. You're listening to me. I'm listening to you. Sure. Is it different? But I know what that looks like from 6:30 until 11. And when I'm talking to a 9-year-old child who's going through something and, we get through and I get her to school, ain't nobody there going, you are good at this.
You did
You're a
that
genius.
perfectly.
You belt an E, and everybody's like, yes. And you're like, I'm sorry. That is kind of that's not the part of the day I wish y'all were there to clap for, because the 10 hours before have been a lot, and nobody said I was good.
This is insane because this is the realization that, oh my God, the fact that this is now being validated from a veteran, from someone who has just like been around the block, who knows it. But like, I realized I told my therapist, I was like, the show is the easiest part of my day. You know what I mean? Like it's all the other shit that I don't know the lines for, that I don't know the structure.
It's not scripted for you.
And it's not scripted. And like, and it's the things that are thankless, like going to the gym, taking out the trash, and then like you go to work and then it's just like this big thing. And I think like my happiest is when like we're done Fight Call and we're done doing all this other stuff and we're just doing the show. And it's just like, it's right now. It's just,
you get to fly.
You get to fly. That's such, and
everybody gets to watch you fly. I mean, literally we walk through the day and I'm like, did anybody insert laugh here? Anybody see that? Nobody saw that. Okay.
No, you know what happened the other day? You know what happened the other day? I was so like, I found myself, and I'm the last person to give myself credit for anything that I do on stage. I'm very critical. But one thing, I was just so like at peace with what was going on stage, and I'm usually very panicked. and I'm an anxious performer, and like I drop the table, and one of the legs. If you're familiar with the scene, if you remember, I bring the tables in all the time, and 2 nights ago, the table I put it down, and the leg gave out, and the table and everything on it collapsed.
Oh God.
Right at the beginning of the scene, and I was just like, "Well, that's great." And
Who's going to clean up this mess?
then I started. I was just like, "Okay, this is exciting because
You work it into the scene.
I don't know what's going on." So like I'm going around and I'm like picking it up together, and I talk to Jason, who's watching who's his character's watching television. Is like, "Oh no, please continue watching television. I'll take care of it."
Brought something entirely new and wonderful to the scene.
And but it just made me realize that, like, dude, I'm the comfiest when I'm here. I'm like, because like what you just said is like, when you're there, you can fly, and it's all the other things in your personal life, that make you who you are and make you who you are on stage. And that's the fuel that you have. Like on stage, it's just like the tip of an iceberg. There's so much going on. And I think that's also connects to what I was saying when I was talking to all these famous people. And you associate them with their work. The work for them is probably like, that's just their job. It's just part of their day, and they probably feel most comfortable doing it. And the hard stuff and the things that they associate with those moments in their life are the things that are going on. And that's exactly what you just said. It's like the hard thing for you is, I'm sure, raising a child.
Raising a child.
Raising a child. And like, then when you go on stage, you're like, oh, this is where I can not let it go, but I can let that inform what I do. I know the script.
Yeah. And everybody's got it. I've got to understand that you all have such great trust for each other. It is so physical. There's so much going on that seems to me is just basic part of the foundation of your cast. You have to trust one another.
Yeah. And you trust
the parent
too, and you trust yourself. Like for the like you can trust yourself in the material, which is very rare for me. Like I can be like, no, I know that I'm going to go out and I'm going to react to what happens, and if nothing else, I'm going to do the best that I can, and it's going to come from a place that's meaningful to me. That is, you encapsulated a thought that I just recently discovered that I'm sure you've known for a very long time.
Now it's validated. You know that you've discovered a true understanding or the real meaning of something when you learn it, and someone either turns to you and articulates to you what you just learned, or asks you the question that you just learned. And that's how you know, like, okay, now this is a part of me, because now it's like coming to me and validating that I understand it. To pull you right out of what we were just talking about, staying in the moment, is there anything coming up that you want to share and talk about here? I know your contract is coming to an end soon, and I don't know.
I know, and I am going to extend.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I think you're hearing it here first. I'm gonna extend because I think
Curtis family is sticking around
for a little bit.
I'm happy to hear that.
I'm continuing with it. Yeah, and I love it too much, and I think there's still more to find.
And my cousin's going to be really happy because you were her favorite.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think
Mary Lee, you're going to cause
it's my
rift.
cousin.
Stop talking
it's
about
her opinion.
this.
She loved him. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the 5 questions.
Let's be honest, life's too busy to sit down with a book sometimes. That's why Amazon Music Unlimited now lets you listen to one audiobook from Audible each month. Listen while you commute, work out, or tackle that pile of dishes. Any book, any genre, your choice. Transform your daily routine into quality reading time. Download the Amazon Music app and turn your next chapter into an audio adventure.
If you were arrested and you had to call one of your big brothers to come bail you out, what would they assume that you've done to land yourself in jail?
I think they would assume public indecency, or being really loud, or like disturbance of the peace.
Okay.
After spending too much time in your microbrewery.
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, yeah, walking out and creating
Sing that one again.
Yeah, he's holding up traffic. He keeps singing. He keeps singing the opera at the
One day
stoplight.
more.
Yeah, well, he's doing the choreo. It's actually kind of cool.
Okay, describe your all-time favorite sandwich.
Okay. It's going to be on a hero. It's going to have French fries in it.
Oh God.
So it's going to be like it's going to be similar to like a Philly cheesesteak adjacent. It's going to have coleslaw in it and some sort of like spicy mustard.
Nice.
Okay.
Excellent. I feel like my son just described his sandwich. That's what Seb would eat
Yeah.
too, I think. Yeah.
That would be like an ideal sandwich. And also, yeah, it would have a little bit of caffeine somehow administered.
And a Diet Coke,
Oh,
a
Diet
sensible
Coke on the
Diet
side.
Coke.
Right.
No, in the sandwich.
Oh, in the
In the
sandwich.
In the sandwich. No, like nothing on the side.
Coffee beans?
I could eat French fries on the side. No, I want it in the sandwich.
In it. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
It's all in.
All right. You can wake up tomorrow morning with any superpower you want. What would it be?
I think I want to be invisible.
Ooh. Would you
Like-
spy on people and listen to what they say about
Yeah,
you?
of course. Like not like in a way that would like invade too much privacy. I just want to know what people are talking about. Like
just
what people
Be
are
in all the
thinking
rooms.
without the context of me being there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we were to walk into your closet, is there a piece of clothing, a garment, jewelry, something you'll never get rid of because of the memories it holds?
Oh my God. You know what? I do have this tank top that I've had since high school that has just been with me through hell and high water. And it's literally the fabric in it is so thin now. But it's just like this like summer tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just had it for a decade. And it still fits me somehow. It was a gift from literally I was at my friend's place and I needed another shirt and I never gave it back to him and I've just had it for 10 years. And I realized
Do you still have that friend? Are you
no.
still friends? Oh.
I mean, like
Only the shirt remains.
if I saw him, I'd be like, "Oh my God, what's up?" Like, I don't text him or call him, but I remember I was just like, you've been with me through thick and thin, old friend. Like you have seen so many phases of me.
Nice. Okay. If you were a nail polish color, what color would you be? And what would your cheeky little name be?
This is an unbelievable question.
I know. And we ask everybody.
Everyone gets that one.
Nail polish color.
Mhm.
Well, I like green, but green can be offensive.
It can?
Why?
Green is just so intense. Like, what if it's like forest green?
What's wrong with forest green?
I like an olive. I like an understated olive green.
Okay.
wouldn't
Understated. Good.
In 100 and some odds, olive is this is the first olive, I think.
Really?
I think you're right.
I would
Yeah.
not do that to my fingernails. And now I'm just talking about my favorite color.
No, that's okay. That
Yeah.
I would do an understated green.
Mhm.
Okay. And call it
I would call it
Dirty Martini.
no, I'd call it like the existential leprechaun.
Ah!
Like I'd call it like the something that would suggest a leprechaun who takes himself too seriously.
Okay.
Oh,
They got to be out
They
there,
are.
right? They're out there.
Yeah.
you are so sweet
Weird
and
answer, but-
special. And I'm so
Mm.
glad you came and sat and talked with us.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad
You
to
guys-
know you better because I always see you, bopping down the street or, going into the room or something. And you always stop and we chat, but it's nice
Oh,
to
that's
really
kind.
chat.
Thank
and
you.
talk to you.
It's so nice to talk to you finally. And also, I've been such a big fan for so long. So it's
Oh, you're nice. It's just me in the tank top hanging in for the last
just
decade.
hanging in for the decade.
I
Like,
wish you all the best.
thank you so much. I wish you the best too. And
Thank
thank
you.
you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
All
love.
right. We
Right, you
stay on
sign
and
up.
talk about you now. So
Oh,
if you did have
cool.
the invisibility cloak, you could be here.
Wow,
But
what
for
a
now, pop off. Bye.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
love. Coming up next, what struck a chord? Isn't he the cutest? Such a sweet kid. He really is.
And he
really
really is very, thoughtful. I wanted to ask what led him to therapy because seemingly you hear about his life and he's got brothers and parents that seem to have supported his choice. Reading about him going to college and him being kind of embraced and celebrated within those 4 years. And then, like he said, he's out of college 2-3 months and boom, he's on the tour of Les Mis. So it's always a misconception And I'm one of the biggest offenders in that way. But you think, gosh, everything is rolling along so swimmingly and
Well,
seemingly
he strikes me
easy.
as the type who likes to get out ahead of things.
Sure
And
does.
so he's introspective, and maybe he just needed someone wiser to talk to put things into a perspective for him that
Yeah.
he didn't,
Because
And
it
I
doesn't
think
even
he really cares about being a good actor, and I think he felt it would make him a better actor. That's how
Yeah.
it seems, anyway.
Well, we are in, and I don't care if you're in this industry or not, the surroundings and the energy is unbalanced in our world right now. So that alone, leading yourself to therapy to say, how do I manage, how do I navigate in this world, isn't a testament on you don't have what it takes or you have had a difficult time. It's what's going on around us is just,
how do I manage it? How do I cope with it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. How often do you get to the theater to see the
go
gang?
see shows?
Oh,
you mean to the
see
Outsiders?
Yeah, to see your
Oh
cast
gosh,
of the
I've
Outsiders.
seen it several times, 6, 7 times, 7,
Okay.
8 times. I usually bring like a group of people and go and see it again. I'm looking forward to seeing it again when the cast shifts out and feeling the differences between the new cast and the old.
What do you feel Brent brings to the story that does make him the moral center and the emotional heartbeat?
Subtlety. I think
he spoke about that stillness. About
when actors are young, it's very easy to get swept up in, well, if this is good, then more is better. Right? And in this show, it works because it's a big show and because there's a lot, but he's sort of this calm steadiness. He doesn't overdo anything, but then when he does it, you can't take your eyes off him. He's a beautiful voice. And he's subtle, and he's, who it reminds me of? Your husband. When I saw your husband do the Baker. Yeah. Because you see the Baker sometimes and they do it real big and they punch the jokes. Seb didn't do that.
No. Everything was honest and
true. You fell in love. And when he sang No More, my heart broke because of how subtle. And so there's something about a subtle actor who's so centered and grounded, and he steals your heart, and that's what he does. Yeah, he definitely, for me,
I'm excited to see what's next for him.
I am too, and I love that he's staying on. That's wonderful. That's good for us.
And it's going out on tour, yes?
Yeah, they're putting together a tour for September 25.
Exciting.
We've already got like 95 cities lined up. It's going to be great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's
Congratulations. That Tony just keeps twirling and twirling and twirling.
Yeah, it does. It's a great show. It's a wonderful show. I'm so grateful to have been a part of it.
Thanks for asking him to come on and chat.
Yeah, that was really fun. All right. Well, I love you.
Oh, always. Love, love, love.
Okay. Bye. Stages podcast is produced by Mary Lee Fairbanks and Stephanie J. Block. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join us on social media pages or sign up for the mailing list at stagespodcast.net. That is also where you will find Stages swag. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share and rate and review the show. It really helps us grow. Big thank you to Noah Kaiserman and Garrett Healy for the original music, and Allison Arnn, who has been with us since day one. See you soon.